It's like saying like, I understand AI just because you know how to use ChatGPT. No, you don't understand the algorithms of artificial intelligence and the natural languages and all of that, right? So the same thing happens in fitness. So today, I'm going to give you 5 weight loss mistakes that you might be making that if you fix those, you actually will go further in your weight loss journey.
Hi, my name is Mo Gayas. Essentially, I'm a kid who's obsessed with winning.
Hello. Welcome to Healthy Systems Podcast. I hope you're doing well wherever you're at. If it's really cold where you're at, don't forget to supplement with some vitamin D. But that was just a small PSA before we get into it. Today's episode is actually something I'm really excited about. Short and sweet, to the point, and I'm going to give you 5 weight loss mistakes that you're making without even realizing it. Okay. And after you solve these 5 mistakes, I promise you, your weight loss will not be plateaued and things will start to move. Okay. What are these things? Well, a lot of the time when you go on a weight loss journey, a lot of you start exercising, which is good. A lot of you start dieting, which is good. Problem is, these words make it sound like, oh, yeah, you should just learn how to diet, right? But the thing is, there's like a lot of little mini skills that come underneath dieting. Like, what are you going to eat? What is healthy? What is unhealthy? How many calories, fats, carbs, fat? Like, there's so many skills. So a lot of the time people make the mistake of just using one word as like, oh, I understand the whole thing. You don't. It's like saying like, I understand AI just because you know how to use ChatGPT. No, you don't understand the algorithms of artificial intelligence and the natural languages and all of that, right? So the same thing happens in fitness. So today, I'm going to give you 5 weight loss mistakes that you might be making that if you fix those, you actually will go further in your weight loss journey. So the number one, this is something I see time and time again. And mind you, a lot of you know that we've been coaching for the last 8 years. We have a lot of experience. We've coached over 1,500 plus clients. So a lot of this comes from personal experience and also coaching clients. So the number one weight loss mistake that a lot of people make without even realizing it is overeating healthy foods. Okay. So a lot of the time people think healthy equals unlimited. So they're like, okay, it's healthy. I can have a lot of it, right? And eating too much of a very calorie dense food like nuts, avocados, granola, smoothies, all of these things, what happens is you overeat them thinking is good for you. Yes, they have nutrition, but after a certain point, that nutrition is actually just extra calories getting saved as body fat on your body. So then you keep overeating the nuts. The other day, actually, I did a comparison for my training with the Titans clients in our Muslim fitness method. And the one thing we noticed was I had just a handful of peanuts in my hand and I weighed them, right? And it was about 28 grams of peanuts. How many calories do you think 28 grams of peanuts is? Just a handful of peanuts, literally probably like 20 peanuts. That is 170 calories, just a handful of peanuts. And so often we don't even realize it. We just go to our friend's house. We're entertaining guests and we just grab a little here, a little there. And we're like, Mo, I don't eat lunch, man. I just, snack a little bit. It's like, yeah, that snacking might be 1,000 calories, right? So, and the thing is, even with snacking, you're not that satiated or full after. So then you keep doing it. You want more of it. So you might see others eating these foods and you might be like, man, they're fit, right? They're fit on Instagram. That girl looks great. That guy looks great. But those people are likely tracking portions and they're balancing their intake along with exercise and they've been training for years, right? So often the biggest trap I see is people follow people on Instagram who have been lifelong athletes. Like these kids started playing karate and wrestling and like volleyball and all these sports since they were like 5 years old. You and I, we didn't start till we were in our 20s. So it's like they have 15 years on you, right? 15 years. So a lot of the time we often underestimate how much work that person has already done. So we're like, yeah, like I can do the same thing. But it's like, no. You started last month. They've been exercising and being fit since they were 4 years old. Their dad put them into a self-defense martial arts class when they were 6, right? Our parents couldn't afford to. So like the bar is not equal there. So remember to measure the portions and track calories even for healthy foods. Okay, that's how you're going to avoid that biggest mistake, which is overeating healthy foods. Healthy does not equal unlimited. Okay, let's go to number 2, which is even more important. And that is more on the mental side. It's the psychological side of it, which is comparing your progress to others. You see, everybody's journey is different. So what works for others might not work for you. And the mistake I see people making is they get discouraged because someone else is losing weight faster than they are, or they seem to be having an easier time, and then they end up quitting. The thing is, this journey is you versus you. You versus you. That's the journey. It's not others. And you don't know if that person has been training, they were playing sports, they were an athlete all through middle school, high school, college, while you and I were just not doing any of those things. So their body is conditioned differently. Their muscle mass is much higher than yours, even if they look very similar to you. So at the end of the day, comparison creates unnecessary stress, negative self talk, and inconsistency in your plan. So focus on your own progress metric. Focus on if you're getting stronger, right? Focus on your own energy levels. Focus on how your clothes are fitting and celebrate small wins. God damn it, right? Think about it. If you're comparing your journey of month 2 to somebody else's journey of year 15, how is that fair? It's not fair to begin with whatsoever. So keep that in mind. Now let's go to number 3. I know I try to keep these short and sweet. So on your drive to work, you have the best nuggets of knowledge when it comes to healthy systems. So number 3, it's another important one. Now we're going to go back to some tactics, which is drinking hidden calories. Okay. So liquid calories can stall your progress without you even realizing it. Right. What does that mean? Well, one thing I notice all the time is whenever a client is plateaued, we have them send us pictures of everything they're eating. And I notice how much milk is in their coffee, how on their eggs, they also have some cheese on there, right? They be adding calories left and right, and they don't even realize it. So consuming sugary drinks, even alcohol or high calorie coffee beverages regularly. This is for those of you that go to the coffee shops like Starbucks and get those mocha frappuccinos or those brown oat milk shaken espressos. I love those too, but only once in a while. Okay, once every 2 weeks. Keep it moderation. It's okay to enjoy things and give yourself that delayed gratification. You keep having it every day. Some of those have over 500, 600 calories, right? I forgot the actual number, but I'm sure there's some venti drinks at Starbucks that are over 1,000 calories. So then you consume it, but it doesn't even feel like lunch. It's just like it's empty sugary calories. There's nothing to it, right? So, oh, don't get me started on the crumble cookies. We'll talk about them some other time. But that's another thing, right? Drinking hidden calories. So your friend might drink that same Starbucks Frappuccino, but they might also be compensating elsewhere in their diet. So your friend, you're like, man, yeah, my friend Susie drinks it every day, but Susie doesn't gain weight. Plus, you don't know that Susie also walks 10,000 steps a day. And also, Susie comes from a family, they're all pretty slim people. You don't. You and I have families with diabetes and hypertension and high cholesterol in them. So never compare yourself to others. I'm telling you, it's not the same game. It is a very different game for all of us. All of our bodies are different. Susie also might have been an athlete from a very young age. So she has a lot of more muscle mass and she's built stronger than you because you never played sports. You didn't even know, besides like some very like, playing some volleyball in your backyard, you never really participated in that type of strength training like Susie did. So everybody's different. So don't compare yourself there. But now drinking hidden calories, swap out the sugary drinks for water, black coffee, or even unsweetened tea. Hell, even Diet Coke is fine, right? Diet Coke, any of the 0 calorie ones, go for it, right? It's better than any of the sugary stuff. So at the end of the day, do that. Like right now, I'm drinking just a black coffee. I have it every morning. Good. Just add one Splenda to it. I'm good. So at the end of the day, don't drink hidden calories because by far they are slowing you down the most. Number 4, this is more of a training side. So on the exercise part, which is chasing cardio over strength. Whew, this is so important. You ever go to the gym and you see the same people on the elliptical every day? And it's been 2 years and they look exactly the same. That's a very common trap people fall into. You see, more isn't always better when it comes to cardio. So what happens a lot of times is people spend hours on cardio machines, but they neglect strength training, and rightfully so. The reason that happens is because running on a treadmill or a cycle or on the cycling machine or on the elliptical, there's no skill required. So you're like, oh, I'm safe. I can just walk this way all day, right? So people stay away from the weight section. They stay away from the strength training dumbbells, machines, and barbell section. And the reason to do that is because that stuff requires a little bit of education and skill. But you can work with a trainer who learn that stuff because it is by far what's going to keep you away from diabetes and hypertension and high cholesterol and all that. Because muscle is your body's currency for staying healthy and living longer. We need muscle. If you have less muscle than fat, your body is actually going to be declining. Okay. You want more muscle than fat on your body, and you also will look better. Your clothes will fit better. So, and if you see others sweating buckets on the treadmill, right, and assuming it's the best way, it's not, right? A lot of the time, building muscle through strength training is way more effective for long-term fat loss. So incorporate 2 to 3 strength training sessions in your week to build muscle and boost your metabolism. That's another advantage of building muscle. It lowers cortisol. It improves your metabolism. It speeds it up. So then you're burning calories even when you sleep. Versus cardio, you only burn calories when you're doing the session, and then there's nothing afterwards. Weight training, strength training has a way higher afterburn effect. Whereas after the fact, you're still burning calories even at night. So that's how you can get away with some mocha frappuccinos if you start doing weight training too. Number 5, last one. This is another one that biggest weight loss mistake people make, which is unrealistic expectations from social media. Oh my God. If you're a guy, you see other guys and he's like 2 years into his journey and he looks big and jacked. Well, you don't know he's on steroids. Did he ever tell you? Why would he even tell you that? Right? So often on social media, so many people are enhanced. It's not even crazy. I've been training for 8-9 years and I don't have a crazy physique. I just look like a normal, healthy, shredded, lean person, but I don't look like any of those guys. They're too big. How do you think they get too big, even though they've been training for a year or two? The reason being is they're on steroids. I'm telling you, either steroids or human hormone replacement therapy like TRT. It is so rampant, especially people in countries like Brazil, India, Pakistan, all like people overseas. It's so easy to get. People don't even know the side effects, so they keep doing it. But the side effects of steroids are real too. So you should totally read up on it if you haven't. So at the end of the day, social media shows the highlight reel. It shows the person, wherever they're at today. So you're like, man, Mo, I must be doing something wrong because I don't look like that. So then you end up quitting on your own journey, right? It's kind of like setting your savings on fire just because you lost your wallet. How stupid is that, right? Don't do that. So, and same thing with girls. You're like, Mo, man, that girl does these like glute kickbacks and like these hip thrusts. Look at her booty. It's so good, right? And you're like, man, mine doesn't look like that, even though I started doing these 2 months ago. It's like, well, you don't know she has a BBL. Did you ask her, right? Maybe she has a BBL. Maybe she has a great genetics from her mom. Who knows? At the end of the day, unrealistic expectations, or maybe her booty in real life doesn't look that good. It's just the angles she films from, right? So on social media, she films it from that angle, so you get, unrealistic expectation. So don't do that. Looking for others for inspiration is good. Looking for others for comparison often ends up hurting you. So unfollow accounts that make you feel insecure. Literally, focus on actionable advice and long-term progress. Like, I was vulnerable today, right? I even admit it. Like, I've been training for 8-9 years and my physique is pretty average. And I like it because I've gotten to love the process and the journey. I love training. And yeah, that's what I like. But at the end of the day, a lot of you want to look like those Instagram models. And those Instagram models, 9 times out of 10, actually 9.8 times out of 10 are enhanced. They're either like the girls have BBL, fake lips, fake boob jobs, like all of that stuff. And then the guys are on steroids. It's such an easy hack. And so many people are on it and they don't admit to it because it would be criminal, I believe, to admit that they're on steroids. So at the end of the day, we're not in this to look jacked. We're not in this to look, like real life superheroes. We're in it for our own health. We're in it to prevent diabetes, to prevent hypertension. We're in it to look good for ourselves. When I look at myself in the mirror, I'm genuinely proud because I remember being 18, 19 and being fat and overweight. And I hated that. So like all of you, don't compare yourself to others. Okay. So here's the thing. I want you to be proud of yourself. And the only way you're going to be proud of yourself is if you do it the right way. Okay. So I'm going to summarize the 5 weight loss mistakes that I talked about in this episode. So we're just going to wrap through it real fast. So here are the 5 weight loss mistakes you're making that you might not even realize that are keeping you stuck. Number 1, overeating healthy foods. Number 2, comparing your progress to others. Number 3, drinking hidden calories. Number 4, chasing cardio over strength. And number 5, unrealistic expectations from social media. You solve these 5 things, boom, boom, boom. Your results are going to skyrocket. So I hope that helps. If you like this episode, message me on Mo Gaius or on Instagram or on Facebook, and I would love to hear from you. And until next time, I'll see you then.
Thank you for listening to the Healthy Systems podcast. I really appreciate you for tuning in today. Now, here are 2 ways I can help you for free. 1, you can join our free Facebook community by just going to this link, bit.ly/Titan Facebook group. Just type that into your browser and then answer 2 questions, and then we'll let you into our Facebook community where you'll meet other people, as well as we have a lot of free resources in terms of meal plans, workouts, all kinds of stuff in there. Second way I can help you for free is if you follow me on Instagram at Mo Gaius, M-O-E, G as in George, H as in horse, I as in India, A as in apple, S as in Sam. Follow me there and then shoot me a message with the word healthy systems, and then I'll be sure to send you a free gift. Other than that, keep listening in, and I really appreciate you.